so early in the morning, but you up yet? I was just stopping by your room as you said last night that you would like to help out on the farm, start working, and while I know you're probably still recovering and I don't want to give you too much work, it's just I think it would be good for you to go ahead and start waking up early now so you can already be used to it. Plus, I would like to show you around the farm, maybe do a few smaller tasks. So even if you're not fully working, I still think it would be good for you to get to learn some of the basics of the jobs around this farm. Plus, I'm thinking about cooking you a little breakfast, so do you mind if I come in? You are awake, right? Oh, there you are. I didn't hear your voice yet, but you are awake, yes. Once again, sorry for bothering you, but if you don't mind, can I come inside? I can. Thank you, partner. Just give me 1 second and howdy there. How you doing, partner? Good to see you're looking not too bad. You seem to be a bit better than you were yesterday. You looked quite exhausted yesterday. I mean, you told me you ran all the way here, and with that zombie cat bite, I know you must have been completely worn out. So I'm happy to see that you're looking much better today, partner, but as I was saying a few seconds ago, if you don't mind, would you, please come downstairs once you're ready? Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, you want to know about my hat? Oh, excuse me there. I must have forgot to put it on. Was, I was brushing my fur a few minutes ago before I came in here, and I must have forgotten to put it on. Give me 1 second, please. I forgot to put it back on. Here, let me do so. There. Now that's better. I don't know how I could have forgotten it, but yeah. Am I looking better there, partner? I didn't mean to forget it, but it's all good now. But as I was saying before, partner, I'ma go ahead and leave the room, let you get changed if you need to. Of course, if you need any clothes, I know I gave you those clothes yesterday, but I also have a few extra in the closet next to your bed, so if you need a new outfit, you can hopefully find some in there that will suit you well, partner, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave, and once you're done changing, come downstairs and we'll decide what to do for breakfast, okay, partner? See you in a bit. use a sink. Due to that, and I know I told you that yesterday that the power and water were already off, but unfortunately it completely slipped my mind this morning. It's unfortunate, really. I already forgot that they aren't working. I didn't realize how reliant I was on the water and power, but it seems I'm gonna need to get some water from the well later today to wash the dishes, but it's no bother. It shouldn't interfere with breakfast too much. I still got a few dishes, a few plates still perfectly in good condition for us to use, partner. So, let me just look through the cabinets real quick. Honestly, partner, I don't know quite exactly what we're gonna be eating today, as unfortunately I had to throw a lot of stuff out before you came here. Before you came here yesterday, I had to throw away a lot of my stuff in my fridge over there, since the power's gone and most of it's spoiled, so I don't got a whole lot left. And I don't quite want to use the canned goods I got right now, as it'd just be a waste. We don't know how long this stuff's gonna last, so we gotta save the non-perishables for as long as we can. So let me see if I can find something. Ideally, I would have liked to use some stuff we've been growing on the farm, like the corn, but it ain't quite harvest season yet, and I just used the last of the corn yesterday with that porridge I gave you. So we don't quite got no corn left over, so let me see. Ah, there. That'll do. A nice fresh egg. I completely forgot about this. I just got this egg yesterday when I was checking on my chickens. Wait, I forgot to tell you, didn't I? I remember I showed you around the farm yesterday, and I showed you the cows, but didn't I completely forgot to show you the chickens, didn't I, partner? It must have, I must have completely forgotten, partner, but yeah. I also got some chickens on this farm. Got both cows and chickens. No other animals, though, I will say, besides the occasional mice, but I don't think you would count them, would you, friend? No, sirree, but luckily I got a perfectly fresh egg here. It won't last for too long, but luckily since I just got it yesterday, it's still good. Only one of them, though, so unfortunately we ain't gonna both be eating this tonight. I mean, we're not gonna both be eating this egg for breakfast. It ain't enough for the both of us, so I'll give it to you, okay, partner? I insist. You're a guest of mine, though. I guess I shouldn't be calling you a guest, as you agreed to stay here and work at the farm, so you're a bit more than a guest, but even then, I think I should still show you a bit of hospitality, considering you're still quite new to this farm, so I'll let you have the egg, partner. I can get something else to eat later today when I check on the chickens later, instead of doing all this talking, we ought to go ahead and just get to cooking now. You're probably feeling hungry, right? I don't want to keep you waiting for too long, so here, come with me to the stove real quick. I'm gonna cook us up a nice egg, though. I gotta ask, talking about cooking, do you know how to cook, partner? Because I was thinking up last night before I went to sleep. I was thinking of what jobs you can do around the farm, and I was wondering, do you know how to cook, partner? Do you at least know how to cook an egg, right? Like the basics. You don't, partner? Really? You can't even cook a single, not even a basic egg. Oh, that ain't no good, partner. You gotta at least know how to cook a single egg. That's like a basic. But here, it ain't that hard, partner, so here, come closer. I'll show you how to cook an egg, okay, partner? It's not too hard, and I think it'd be good for you to learn, as it would be mighty helpful if you could help me out with cooking, so why don't you watch me? Come close. Watch me while I cook this egg, and I'm gonna try to explain what I'm doing, and hopefully you can pick up some of the skills, okay, partner? Of course, we don't got a lot of ingredients, so I can't teach you too much cooking skills, but hopefully I can at least teach you some of the basics, okay? But here, watch me. So what you're gonna do, partner, so you're gonna grab this egg right here, and then here, let me just set this down right here, partner, on the counter. And then you're gonna go ahead and grab yourself out a nice old pan, okay? Because we're gonna be cooking this egg on the pan, no boiling, nothing. Just a nice, simple fried egg, okay? So you're gonna grab this pan, gonna put it on the burner, which, luckily for us, partner, this old stove here is a gas stove, so luckily I still got a good amount of gas saved up in the house before this old zombie apocalypse started, so despite the power going out, we should still be good, partner. Cause luckily this stove should still be able to cook for quite some time until the gas runs out. It's a good thing I got that, but here, as I was saying, you place the stove down right here on the burner, and then once you do that, we're just gonna go ahead and turn on the dial. You see that dial right there? That dial, there's a few different dials on the stove, each one corresponding to the different burners on the stove. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this one on, and it's gonna turn on the stove, the burner on the stove that corresponds to the pan that we're currently using, okay? And then once you do that, it's gonna heat the pan up, okay? So once you turn on the burner, you best not be touching this pan no more. Nothing except the handle, okay? I don't want you getting burned, okay, partner? So keep that in mind. But now that we went ahead and got the burner on, now the pan's already heating up, is so runny and the egg is kind of firm. So we're gonna wait for that, okay? That's what you want to keep an eye on. You want the egg to be firm, the yolk to be not super runny no more. So let's just wait a few minutes, okay there, partner? And just keep an eye on the egg so you got an understanding of like how it cooks. That'll help you understand when to take out the egg when you cook an egg in the future. So make sure to keep an eye on it so you understand how exactly an egg changes as it cooks, okay, partner? Okay there, partner. You see that? You see how the egg looks now? That should be around where you want to be. Finishing up, okay, getting ready to take the egg out of the pan. This is about what the egg should look like when it's done cooking. Of course, if you want to, partner, you could cook it for a little bit. You could cook it for a little bit longer if you want to be on the safe side, but this is about what you want the egg to be like, okay? So, here. Since you were complaining a bit about the eggshells, I'm gonna go ahead and crunch it up for you a little, okay? I know you said you didn't like the eggshells, but it's good nutrient for you, okay? It's good nutrient, so you gotta keep it, okay? But, because it ain't gonna kill you, probably, but this is around when you want to have the egg getting taken out the pan, okay? But before I take the egg out of the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my spatula right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and crush a few of those eggshells real quick. I know you said you didn't really like the idea of the eggshells being the egg, so just for you, partner, I'm gonna go ahead and crush a few of them so that they're not too big of a bite. So you're not getting like a huge eggshell in your bites of egg. Whenever you bite into the eggs, I want to make sure the meal isn't too bad for you. That I want to try to like make sure you also enjoy it too, partner. So here, let me just squash them real quick. There. Now is that looking better, partner? Is that a little bit less eggshell for you? I hope you enjoyed a bit more like this. But now that we're done crushing those eggshells, there's one last step, okay? Well, technically it's a few more, but one last big step involved in the cooking process, okay? So first, you're gonna wanna go ahead and grab a plate. Of course, I already grabbed a plate earlier, but what you're gonna wanna go ahead and do, partner, you're gonna wanna make sure that you got a plate at the ready next to your pan. Well, not directly next to it, but close by. Because of course you're gonna need something to put the egg on, but once you got the pan ready, what you're gonna want to do next, partner, is you're gonna grab this spatula. You're gonna go ahead and grab your spatula like this, the same spatula I was using to crush those eggshells, and you're just gonna put the spatula right under the egg. Try to get all the egg under the spatula, and then just gonna lift the egg out, and then carefully put the egg onto the plate right here, and then kind of scooch the egg off. Try to kind of shake the egg off the spatula. Try not to damage the egg too much though. Try to be careful, okay? You can go ahead and shake the egg off a little bit off the spatula. Right onto the plate. And there. Now you got yourself a nice old plate of eggs. Ready for a nice good breakfast. But before you're done, there's still two things that you still need to do after you're finished cooking, okay? There's still two very important steps, okay, partner, that you need to make sure to keep in mind. These are very important. So first, you want to go ahead and grab your pan that you had on the burner, and you're going to go ahead and put it away into the sink so we can wash it later. And then after you do that, partner, you're going to need to turn off the burner, okay? You cannot be leaving the burner on, okay, partner? Whenever you cook in the future, do not leave the burner on after you're done cooking. You might burn the whole house down, okay, partner? So do be careful of that. But once you're done with all that, you have successfully, partner, cooked yourself an egg. Here's your food. Go ahead and grab. Wait 1 second, partner. I almost forgot. Let me just grab my pitchfork real quick. I'ma need this. I'ma need this pitchfork for once we're done eating. Or, well, when you're done eating, but now that I've grabbed that here, partner, go ahead and get eating, okay? We got some work to do. We got some work to do after this, so you're gonna need to go ahead and get to eating. And once you're done, we're gonna go ahead and go outside and I'll show you what your first job is, okay? Don't worry though, it ain't gonna be nothing too difficult now, partner. I know you're still recovering a bit. We're only gonna be doing some basic activities around the farm that will help you get adjusted to all the different parts of the farm, help you understand the farm better in all its various parts, okay, partner? But yeah, go ahead and get to eating your eggs, okay? And we'll get outside after that. I hope you enjoy the eggs, of course. But get to eating. Okay, now, partner, you're ready for a nice day of work. So here's what we're gonna do. First up, you do remember how I was talking about how I'm gonna need to get some water from the well now that the water and the pipes to the house aren't working no more. Now that I don't got no water to the sink, we're gonna need to be getting water from the well instead. Well, 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 that's exactly what we're gonna be doing right now, partner. Your first job for today, you're gonna be pulling up a thing of water, a bucket of water, okay? Of course, I won't be having you be pulling up too many buckets of water. I don't want to exhaust you while you're still recovering, but you should be able to at least pull up one bucket of water to kind of get you to understand how to do it when you do it later in the future, okay? When you get more buckets of water in the future, so follow me. I showed you where the well is yesterday, but now's the time we actually use it, okay, partner? Follow me. Now, here we are, partner, at the well. I do hope you do remember it still from yesterday, partner. You do remember us touring the farm yesterday, right, partner? You do remember everything. Well, it's fine if you didn't, because I'm here to explain everything anyway. And I'll tell you how to get everything done that you need to do. Okay, partner? But, of course, in front of you is a well. This is where I get some of the water for a variety of stuff around the farm. Of course, back in the day before this whole zombie apocalypse thing, I mostly only used it for like water for the animals and water for the crops. I didn't use it for inside the house. That's what the pipes and everything was for. But now that the water's been shut down, we're gonna be needing to pull in extra buckets of water to use inside as well. So here's what you're gonna do. Here, why don't you go ahead and step up real close to the well, okay? Good, good. Now here's what you're gonna do, partner. You see that bucket in front of you, partner? That metal bucket connected to that rope. You do? Good. Now here's what you're gonna do, partner. You see that rope? Well, that rope is connected to this wooden piece. You see that? That wooden piece. That wooden beam. And that wooden beam is connected to this little wooden piece that you can rotate, this little pulley. It works like a pulley. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna get that handle over there at the end of the wooden beam. You're gonna kind of crank it a little. And once you do that, it's gonna lower down the bucket. With the rope, it's gonna lower it down into the well. It's gonna collect some water. And then you're gonna pull the crank in the opposite direction, pull up the bucket. Okay, partner? And then once you do that, you're gonna grab the bucket of the water. You're gonna grab the bucket of water and you're gonna go ahead and bring it inside. Of course, you're not gonna do that today, as I don't want to overwork you too much as you're still recovering, but you can at least pull up the bucket, okay? So that you know how the whole system works, how the whole mechanism works. The transportation of the water, I don't think you need to be showed how to do that. That's pretty basic, so all I need you to do is just pull up the bucket at least one time so you understand how to do it on your own, okay? But here, why don't you go ahead and do it now, partner? Just grab that crank and crank it a bit. It'll drop down the metal bucket and then just crank it in the opposite way and pull the bucket right back up, okay, partner? Go on. It shouldn't be too hard. I believe in you, partner. Splash. Splash. Fair, partner. Good job. You did it perfectly. That's a nice full bucket of water. I don't think I even see a single drop of water missing. You did a great job, partner. But as I said earlier, partner, don't worry about grabbing the bucket or nothing. I'll go ahead and retrieve it later. All I need you to do is just know how to, drop the bucket down and pull it back up with the pulley, okay, partner? I'll transport the water later. You can do that. You can actually transport the bucket of water yourself later in the future. But for today, all I need you to do is pull the bucket of water up and down, okay? You just need to get that experience, okay, partner? But, partner, I think it's time we move on, okay, partner? Follow me. We got another job for you. Follow me to the next job, okay? We're gonna be going to the barn, huh? So follow me, partner, and I'll show you how. Now here we are, partner, in the barn. Of course, you've already seen this before, but just in case you already forgot, this is the barn where I keep the cows, okay? It's where all the cows in the farm are kept. Every single one of them. I got a few of them, not too many, but there's a few of them to keep an eye on, okay? But today we're just gonna be milking one of them, okay? We ain't gonna be milking all of them. But yeah, follow me, partner. I'll show you which one we're milking. Now, here we are, partner. Here's the cow you're gonna be milking today. A good one they are. An amazing cow, but here. Let me just set this bucket down, okay? Now what you're gonna be doing, partner. You see the udders on the cow. You know what udders are, right? I assume you know about cow udders, what they are, right? Okay, you do. Good, good, good. I know that's, basic knowledge, but I just want to make sure, just in case, okay, partner? But you see those cow udders? What you do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to milk them. Just get your hands and gently, but with enough force to get it done, but gently enough that you don't hurt the cow, okay? You're going to grab the udders and you're going to milk the cow, get the milk out. And preferably do try to aim for the bucket, okay? Make sure the bucket is filled up with the milk and it doesn't get on the floor, okay, partner? But unfortunately, I can't give you perfect advice on this activity like I did with the well. Unfortunately, since you humans do have hands that are unlike the paws that I have, I can't perfectly show you how exactly to milk the cow, but it shouldn't be too hard, okay, partner? Don't you worry, I'm here watching, so if you do anything that seems to be wrong, I'll let you know, partner. But here, why don't you go ahead and get to it, okay? Splash, 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 splash. Good job, partner. Once again, you did it perfectly, just like the well. Honestly, I gotta say, are you sure you never worked on a farm before? Because, partner, you have been doing every task perfectly today, partner. You must be a natural. Honestly, it's a good thing you came to this farm. Besides the whole zombie apocalypse thing, it's a great thing you came to this farm because you really are a natural, partner. It's almost like you're meant to be working on a farm. You learned how to do that so quick. I would have never guessed you were a beginner if I didn't know any better. But good job, partner. You can go ahead and leave the bucket there, the bucket of milk. You don't gotta worry about bringing it back to the house. Just like with the bucket of water. I'll go ahead and bring it back later myself, okay? I don't want to strain you too much carrying around all those buckets. Wouldn't be good for you when you're still recovering a bit. But now that you're done with that, let's move on to the next job, okay? Now next up we're going to be going to the chickens. We're going to be going to the coop and checking for eggs, and if there is any, partner, we're going to be collecting them, okay? Of course, this is going to be a little different than the other two, as I completely forgot to show you the coop. yesterday, so this is gonna be a bit new for you, but just go ahead and follow me, partner, and I'll show you where it is. Here we are, partner. Here we are, partner. Here's the coop. It's a pretty simple one, but it can hold a decent amount of chickens in it. Of course, sadly, I actually don't have, sadly though, I don't have a lot of chickens right now. Unfortunately, right before the zombie apocalypse began, I actually lost some of my chickens, unfortunately, to a variety of incidents caused me to lose some of my chickens. So tragically, I don't have that many chickens left in my coop, only a few, which is quite tragic considering I don't think I'm gonna be getting very much more considering the whole zombie apocalypse going on right now. It's gonna be awfully hard to get any new chickens without incubating them myself. But why don't we go ahead and go inside, partner, and we'll check to see if there's any eggs, okay? Now here we are, partner. Now I gotta say, do try not to make any too sudden movements or any loud sounds, nothing. Try not to make too much of a disturbance. I don't want you to stress out the chickens, okay? Want you to stress them too much, so do try to avoid doing anything that would disturb them too much, okay? No loud noises, no too sudden movements, okay? But I think I saw an egg when I came in here. Yeah, that egg, you see that chicken back there? In the back left corner. I'm pretty sure that chicken, it's got an egg, okay, partner? So, here, follow me a little bit closer, okay? Keep quiet, though. Now, here's what you're gonna do, partner. You see this chicken right here? You're gonna be grabbing the egg right nearby it, okay? So what you're gonna need to do is don't be too fast, okay? Don't go too hard with any of your movements. Don't go too fast or nothing. You gotta be kind of cautious, not too cautious. As you gotta use a little bit of speed. You don't want to be stuck there forever and end up agitating the chicken, okay? But you also don't want to accidentally hit the chicken or nothing, okay? Or alarm them, so just calmly grab the egg, okay? The egg right there, okay? And I will be watching, so don't worry. If anything happens, I'm here to help you, okay? So just calmly grab the egg. There. Good job, partner. You did a very good job there. Now you hand me the egg real quick. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and bring that back home real quick. I can't quite leave that behind like the buckets of milk and water. The egg might, get messed up if I leave it behind. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it off But as I'm doing that, why don't you go ahead and follow me back home? I got one last thing for you to do, okay? So follow me. Okay, partner, so what I need you to do, stay right here, okay? I'm gonna go inside and set this egg down in the kitchen. And once I'm done with that, I'm gonna grab a few supplies for what you're gonna be doing next, okay? And I'll tell you a bit more about it once I get back outside, okay? So just you wait here, okay? And just be careful that no zombies approach, okay? There shouldn't be no zombies. Check this morning, but you never know if one might somehow get through the fence, so you do be careful, okay? Don't let your guard drop too much, okay? I'll be back in a second. Be good now. Be safe. Partner. Okay, partner. I'm back. And as you can see, I got myself this nice hammer right here. And a few nails. Now, partner, you see, what I need you to do is, you know how I mentioned a few minutes ago that I checked around the farm this morning to make sure there was no zombies roaming around. Well, you see, while I was doing that, I noticed that some of the fences, some of the areas in the fence, parts of the fence were a bit worn out. Some of them were kind of falling apart a little bit, so what I need you to do, partner, is I'd like you to take this hammer right here and these nails, and I want you to go around inspecting the fence that surrounds the entire farm. And what I want you to do is I want you to, if you find any fences that seem to be messed up, like if you find any fences where the boards are falling off, I want you to just go ahead and pick up the board, put it back on the fence, and then hammer in the board back into the fence with these sets of nails that I'm about to give you, okay? So if you find any boards that have fallen off, just pick them back up, hammer them back into the fence, back into shape with some nails, okay? And this hammer. But as well, if you find any fences that maybe the boards aren't completely falling off, but they're kind of like starting to come off mostly, and they're barely hanging on by a thread, what I want you to do, I want you to use the back of this hammer. You see this claw parts? I want you to grab the nail that is keeping the board hanging on by a thread and just take it out. Take the whole board off and then put it back on with a set of new nails. So the fence is all fixed up, okay? I want you to go around inspecting the fences and fixing them, okay? You know how to do that, right? I know I was trying to teach you all the other tasks around the farm. All the other stuff, I know I tried helping you out and showing you what to do and telling you what to do, but you know how to hammer stuff yourself, right? I mean, it's kind of simple. You just grab the hammer, the flat parts at the front, you hit the nails in with it. The claw part at the back, you take the nails out with. I would like to personally show you how to do it and be there to personally guide you like I did with the other stuff earlier today. so unfortunately I can't really help you out personally, guide you right now, as I got a few stuff I gotta get done if we're gonna be getting dinner on time. As I assume you don't want to keep getting dinner too late now, do you? No. I know we both want to have dinner on time, so unfortunately, if that's gonna be happening, I gotta go ahead and get some stuff ready, so hopefully you can get this done right. You can. Of course, if you can't, just let me know. I can do it later myself, but if if you believe you can do this, it'll be really helpful, okay, to me, partner. It'll be real helpful if you can get this done on your own. It would allow me to go ahead and get dinner ready. So, can you do it, partner? Because if you can't, once again, I will do it myself later after dinner, but it would be helpful if you can do this. You can, partner. Thank you, partner. Thank you very much. That's mighty kind of you. Very mighty kind of you, but here, take these nails and hammer real quick. Go ahead and grab them. Here, first, take the hammer and take these nails. Of course, be careful when you grab them, okay? I don't got a box for them or nothing, 'cause these were a few loose nails I had left over from a project I was doing a few weeks ago before you came. So, these nails are kind of just laying around, so I don't got a box for them, so do be careful picking them up. I don't want you to accidentally cut yourself or stab yourself on them, okay? So, here, take them, okay? But be careful. But there, you should be all good now, partner, to get the stuff, to get your work done. But before I go, I want to remind you to be careful, okay, partner? This is the fence that lines the outside of the farm. This is the outer fence. And if you're going to be repairing some of the broken fences, there is a risk that there might be a zombie showing up. I did check the perimeter this morning to check for any zombies, and I didn't see any, but you never know if one might have wandered in while we were doing other stuff earlier today, so you never know if one might have wandered in while we're doing all that stuff earlier today, so but do be careful out there. I don't want you getting hurt. Even if you are immune to the zombie virus like you told me yesterday and showed me, even if that's the case, I still don't want you getting hurt. It don't matter if you're immune to the virus if they bite you right in the neck. You'll be completely calm before I could ever patch it up, okay? Before I could ever patch up the bleeding, you'll be a goner. So, do be careful, okay, partner? Friend, I don't want to see you hurt. But I'm gonna go ahead and get going, okay? And be safe. Do remember, though, do not let yourself get hurt. I'll see you later for dinner, okay? Once you're done patching up those fences, you can just come back home to the kitchen and I'll get us a dinner set up once I'm done with everything, okay? See you soon, partner. you're still doing good out here by yourself. And I heard a strange sound, and whoa, it's a good thing I got here when I did. I'm sorry about that, partner. I didn't realize it was so dangerous out here. Are you okay there, partner? Here, give me your hand. Okay, there. Oh, I'm really sorry about that, partner. I did not think it was that dangerous. I didn't see this zombie cat earlier. Wait, what's that? Is that the same zombie cat that you were talking about yesterday that got you that bite? That's crazy, partner. That must have been one dedicated zombie cat, huh? To follow you all the way out here. Well, partner, it's a good thing I always bring my trusty pitchfork. Otherwise, you might have been a bit more trouble, partner. It's a good thing I had it, but here. Are you hurt, partner? Did they get you anywhere? Did that talking cat zombie get you anywhere? Here, let me check. Anywhere. I know you're immune to the zombie virus. I already saw that yesterday, but as I said yesterday as well, even if you're immune to the zombie virus, I don't think that means you're immune to a regular old infection, okay? So it won't do you no good to not get no treatment, okay? So here, let me check you. Did that zombie cat get you anywhere? Any new bites or nothing? Let me see. Oh, that's not good, partner. I mean, it don't look as bad as that bite you showed me yesterday, but it seems it did get a bit scratched up. You got a scratch right here, partner. You got a scratch right there, partner. And it's bleeding a bit too. That ain't no good. Luckily, it don't seem to be that deep, but we ought to at least get that washed up. Even if I don't got no medicine that will work for humans like you, I think we should at least begin that scratch hole washed up. We should at least begin that scratch washed up. It ain't gonna do you no good keeping that dirty. Especially 'cause who knows what kind of germs that zombie cat might have had in its nails. Who knows? Here, you go ahead and, why don't you go ahead and go back? Why don't we go ahead and go back home? Okay, partner? Back to the house, and you're probably feeling quite tired from all of today's work plus that zombie cat attack. It's probably got you quite exhausted. Why don't we go ahead and go home real quick, and you can go ahead and go to your room and lie down, get a bit of rest, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and get some water, and I'm gonna go ahead and get water and a nice washcloth to hopefully wash down that scratch. Can't be keeping it dirty, okay? So follow me, partner. You can still walk by yourself, right, partner? You aren't too messed up, right? If you need, I can carry you back home, but it'll take a bit more time, but can you still walk? You can? Okay. That's good, partner. Here. Why don't we go ahead and go back home? We need to get you treated. Okay, partner. Now you just go ahead and go back to your room, okay? Go ahead and lie down. go ahead and lie down in your bed, okay? And once you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get that washcloth and wash it off. Do try not to get the blood on the bed, though. I don't want to be too. I don't want to be too. I don't want to be too annoying about it, but it's gonna suck to have to wash that blood out of the cover, okay? So do try to avoid getting the blood on the bed, okay? But you go ahead and get to your bed. You should probably lie down. It's good for you. Okay, partner, here I am. I got that washcloth, okay? So here, can you sit up real quick? I know you were probably trying to get a bit of a rest lying down, but I need you to sit up real quick for this part so I can wash up that scratch, okay? Okay, partner, stand still, okay? Try to stay still, okay? I know it's gonna sting a bit, okay? I know it's gonna sting a little, but it's for your own good, okay? We gotta get that scratch washed off, okay? It ain't gonna do you no good keeping it dirty. So, bear with me for a second. Is it gonna sting? Okay, now, partner, let me just pat it dry. Dry now, okay? With this other washcloth. And then I'll be done. There, partner. Should be nice and clean now. It should be nice and clean, okay? I would like to offer you a band-aid to keep, the wound covered up a bit so nothing gets in there, but sadly the best I can do is wash the wound considering I don't got no band-aids, sadly. I don't keep any as they don't quite work with my fur, not really. So I never really kept any band-aids around since I can't use them very well myself. So as unfortunate as it is, we're gonna have to keep your wound open like that without any band-aids, but I tried to make sure to wash it off, so hopefully that should help. But you can go ahead and lie back down, partner, okay? Go ahead and lie back down. Get your rest. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go back downstairs, okay? And get you a bite to eat for dinner. Sadly, I can't quite cook nothing right now as we don't got a lot of ingredients. Well, I guess I could cook that egg we brought in today, but I don't know if we want an egg for the second time in a row today, so instead, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you know what? Maybe there is something I could cook. I could cook you one of those canned goods. I know I said we should keep it around just in case, since it's a non-perishable, that we shouldn't be eating it. And we should be saving it, but considering what happened, considering that you got all scratched up like this, I think we can make an exception for today. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go down to the kitchen, grab you a nice old can of beans, okay? Nice old can of baked beans that I got lying around in the pantry. And I'm gonna cook them for you, okay? And I'll bring them right up here to your bedroom. You don't gotta get up or nothing. It's best that you rest, okay? So here, you rest. You keep resting, okay? Don't fall asleep though. You do gotta eat. So don't fall asleep yet. But you just keep resting up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and cook you a nice thing of beans, and I'll bring it up for you. Bring it up here to your room, okay? But just try to relax. And I'll hopefully be done soon, okay? I'll try not to keep you waiting for too long, okay? See you in a bit, partner. I'll get working on those beans now. And I'm back, partner. Luckily, those beans didn't take too long to cook. I mean, it ain't nothing too complicated, so I was able to get them done pretty quick. I was able to get them done pretty quickly, partner. So I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long. But here you go, partner. A nice old bowl of beans should fill you up all nice. Should fill you right up. I hope that's good enough for dinner. I know you probably would like a bit more. I know it's a bit boring for a dinner to have nothing but a single thing of beans, but we gotta be a bit careful with our food now, considering it's a zombie apocalypse and all, so I hope this is good for you, partner. But sadly, I do gotta go. I would like to stay here and chat and maybe tuck you in to sleep, as I know you're probably still a bit shocked about what happened. I mean, you got attacked for the second time by that same zombie cat. It must be frightening, but unfortunately, as much as I would like to chat with you a bit more and tuck you into bed, maybe even give you a little head pat, unfortunately, I gotta do another sweep around the perimeter of the farm. If one cat zombie was able to get in, who knows how many other zombies could potentially get in, so I gotta make sure no other zombies are getting in now. I can't let either you nor me get hurt. I can't be letting you get hurt again, especially, so I'm gonna have to go do that, so this is gonna have to be good night, okay? I might be back before you go to sleep, but just in case I ain't, when you're done with your beans, you can go ahead and set the bowl down next to the bed, okay? And I'll pick it up in the morning and wash it. But anyways, good night, partner. Good night, friend. I hope you have a good rest. It's probably best that you get a nice, good rest, okay? That's the best way to get a good recovery. You need plenty of rest to recover from both that bite and that scratch mark. And those scratches, you're gonna need a nice long rest. So, I hope you get one. I hope you have an amazing sleep, despite everything that happened.